Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I'm here with Steve Selvidge from the Whole City. Hey, Steve.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're just hanging out the Comfort Inn.
Comfort Inn on Colorado Boulevard.
In Eagle Rock, Eagle Rock, California, Los Angeles.
My husband asked him what he wanted to do in LA while we were here for the Whole City shows.
Right.
He said he wanted to go to Colorado Boulevard because of a Jan and Dean song.
Oh, that's right.
The little old lady, mean old lady.
Little old lady from Pasadena.
Yeah. Oh, he's so excited. You know what that is. Look at him.
Oh, man. Dude, when I was a kid, legit, like Dead Man's Curve freaked me out. Like the story of that song was like, I ruminated on it and was like,
damn.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we're in LA for the Hold Steady's LA residency fucking finally.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like.
All this year, every show we played this year has been makeup shows from 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's wild because you still played the Brooklyn Bowl shows last year. So the Hold Steady, for those who don't know, great rock band, check them out. But most of their y'all's touring has been multi-date residencies in specific cities, which is honestly really awesome.
It works for us, yeah. Since like 2016?
Probably, yeah. That was the first Massive Nights, I think.
I think so, yeah. Because it was 2016, right? Yeah, it was 2016 that Riot Fest was like, hey, would you want to come play Boys and Girls in America?
Yeah.
And we, when the Teeth Dreams tour ended in 2014, it was open-ended. We didn't have any plans and we weren't making any plans. I went off on tour with the Donkeys and Bash and Pop. And then this came up and somebody was like, let's call Franz, because Franz wasn't in the band, our keyboard player. And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And so we did it and it was fun. And then we had done the Horseshoe in 2014. We had done 4 shows there.
That's in Toronto?
In Toronto, yeah. They were like, we want you to play our anniversary. We want you to play 4 shows. It's like, no, we're not. Nobody's going to come see us 4 nights in a row. I mean, it's, and then they did. And so it was like.
They keep doing it.
Yeah. And so it just kind of, we did it at Brooklyn Bowl and it worked out. So we just took that model to other cities and it just works out a lot better for us. And I think for our crowd too.
Yeah. I mean, the crowd's a little bit older and
employed,
has a little bit more money, wants to make a vacation out of stuff.
Yeah. It's a destination, and we're fortunate to have a fan base, or not even a fan base, a community. I mean, people that we know. I mean, the reason I'm talking to you now, we've been talking for 45 minutes prior to this recording.
We met at San Francisco residency in 2017.
Right. Great American.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
and
right.
The rickshaw.
And the airport.
Yeah, that was right. That was so funny.
So yeah, it seems like a better way for everybody to kind of maximize their happiness, all around. Yeah,
for sure. Touring's hard, man. And you know better than
it is. I've been doing it more than half my life. It's fun, but it's hard. It's a choice. But if you're 25 and your band's picking up steam and you're on tour and you played in Cleveland at the Grog Shop, but then like your shit's blowing up to where now you could play at Beachland Ballroom, then you're going to go back to Cleveland. You're going to stay on tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you just keep going. Yeah. But if you're in your 40s, or
it's
50s,
not much inertia.
And on your 8th or 9th album, it's like, it's.
You want to see your family sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
your cats.
Yeah, my kids, my cats.
Your kids,
wife, kids, the whole catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
That's a quote from a writer that my dad would slap me for not remembering his name. It was just like, wife, dog, the whole catastrophe. But yeah, and like, I don't think, it's like Monday night, Yeah. And also if there's the phenomenon of like, if you're always on tour, then you get people like, well, I know they're going to be back in like 6 months. So I'll catch them next time. Yeah. And then eventually everybody's going to catch you next time. Yeah. And then, so. Yeah,
overplaying is a huge thing, like, especially with local bands. There's so many bands in Seattle that they don't say no to gigs. And like, you got to space them out. Like, just at least go up to like Vancouver or Bellingham or down to Olympia, Tacoma, and Portland, east to Spokane or something.
Yeah, if you have a surrounding area. Man, even in the 90s, my band Big Ass Truck, like we became like the big band in Memphis or whatever. And once it was like, okay, like these shows are getting pretty big. It's like, let's only do them once a month. Yeah. Because then it becomes an event, You know, and then again, we started, all right, well, let's go to Oxford, Mississippi. Let's go to Nashville. Let's go to Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go to Jackson, Mississippi, but sorry, Jackson. But, you know, and yeah, so it's just like, you know, don't give it away, you know?
Yeah. Man, like my bands, we really try to only play once a month.
Right.
But after the pandemic came back, like for some reason we thought it'd be fine to book shows like the same week. Like, because one was in West Seattle, and at the time, and probably still now, as this is, I don't know when that bridge is opening back up, the West Seattle bridge was closed, so people weren't going from West Seattle to Ballard for a show.
Was it closed because of the pandemic, or
no? It like just like early in the pandemic, they discovered extreme structural issues.
Yeah,
like we gotta fix these. So it's been years. That bridge is still not open. It closed in early 2020.
Wow! Did you hear about we had that issue in Memphis because we have a giant bridge that goes between Tennessee and Arkansas.
Yeah, I've been across that bridge.
And the M Bridge, they found a crack in it. I mean, like that's I-40. It's a major trucking thoroughfare, and it was closed. It was a nightmare.
Man. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird though, because like, you know, there's the difference between like, you know, your band, you know, you have an identity and like you're trying to like kind of have a brand or trying to, you know, you want to maximize things but then there's just like the gigs you just do just to play.
Yeah.
Like there's no real agenda, you know? So it's like, you know, like for me, like there's sort of a dual life like this, because I'm not like in any kind of, again, big band in Memphis really now. I just play, you know, with different people or do my own thing. And there might be, but you know, it's like we're on the floor in a bar, you know, which I love, you know, but it's like, there might be people there that might not, you know, but it's, you know, but then I go off and, you know, fly somewhere and play these shows, you know? So it's like, it's kind of a schizophrenic thing, but
where everyone knows every word and it's the same people, which is wild to me. Like, I didn't think I'd be doing this after San Francisco, but like you meet the people who go to these shows and they're like, they pressure you to go, like, you're going to go to Massive Nights? Are you going to go to Denver? Yeah. I've never been to the Denver shows, but.
Well, we've only done the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, it's like, you know, come on, man, we're going to be there. You know? You should have hung out, man.
No, it was great. I was so sad when I missed the First Avenue shows. I was like, because
that was like the return. That was yeah. You know, it was great for me. Like there was two people there last night, a couple from Memphis. Yeah. You know, and like to see, like, I mean, and she's a fan, and like
I was talking to her.
Yeah. Carrie. Yeah. So to see her, like she knows the appropriate moments to throw the confetti.
Oh yeah, that's like
no misfires from her.
So another thing with the Hold Steady is that people bring confetti to the shows and there are queues for the confetti, and sometimes, especially during Almost Killed Me, people miss. They throw it early,
which is fine. It's enthusiasm. I'm not going to confetti shame anybody.
No, not care. It's like, what's better than one confetti throw during a song? Two of them.
Yeah.
So
good confetti last night.
It was good confetti.
It was
a lot of confetti.
Yeah.
The big confetti, the cannons are the money.
Ball. That's but it was great. Well, I mean, to be real, like Memphis has had a tough couple of weeks.
Yeah. So there was the shooter.
The shooter, and prior to that, Liza Fletcher was abducted and murdered. And
we graduated with her at Belmont.
You're kidding me.
No. I had a friend who was in the education program with her, Laura from Centerville.
Wow, that's heavy.
I didn't know her, but
right, but that's yeah. You know, and look,
small world, small community in the South.
And look, I'm like, it's tricky. Like we're getting deep here, but like, you know, this kind of shit happens a lot to people, and it doesn't get this sort of attention or a quick response from the law enforcement. No, you know, women are kidnapped, women of color. Indigenous women, exactly. Yeah. This doesn't diminish anything about the tragedy that was, you know, Liza and everything. Yeah. And it's great to see, like, there was a run at 4 a.m. this morning in Memphis. Fast. And it was beautiful to see that, you know.
That everyone deserves that.
Exactly. You know. So anyway, all that to say, the couple of weeks that we had to see two faces from Memphis in such a positive and joyous situation really did me a lot of good, you know. Yeah,
because she said that there was a shooting. I guess it was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was because I was on a plane. Yeah, I had it here.
She was like at an intersection where carjacking was like 5 minutes before.
It's a 5-minute walk from my house.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I am at that corner all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I get off my street.
Is everyone okay? Or?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't, nobody personally, but yeah. So this guy like basically had a warrant and like was looking for death by cop, and he went on a 12-hour shooting spree, just carjacking people, Facebook living it. It speaks to a lot of things that are going on in the country, anyway.
That's heavy.
It was great to see some Memphis faces in the audience.
Yeah, for sure. I remember I met her at the Nashville show.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't get to go this year because it was NAMM
Right.
weekend. So I was here. I was in Anaheim.
That's right.
South, yeah. But I didn't get COVID there. I got COVID at Gear Fest, Sweetwater, a few weeks later.
Okay. Well, you're going to get it somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to get it somewhere, I guess get it in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Hey, this is Josh from Sweetwater. Just want to check up, see how you're doing with your COVID.
I actually got it from Steve from 60 Cycle Hum, if you know that podcast.
Yeah.
He messaged me, I think at the day we got back, he got off the plane, took a test, and he messaged me like, so I have COVID. I'm like, oh, we were in so many shuttle vans together.
Yeah.
It was still good. Though Rick was sicker than I was. Have you had it?
I had it once.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't know that I had it. I tested as a courtesy because somebody was coming into my studio.
Yeah, that was Rick's.
And I was like, oh shit, I'm positive.
Yeah.
But that was it. Like I didn't have any, symptoms or whatever. But
yeah, Rick had it in 2021 and I never got it. But he didn't even know he had it. Like
right.
I only got tested because I was around someone who tested positive.
Right.
And he just went followed me along to get tested because we'll either both have it or we both won't.
Right.
And so I ended up getting tested 4 times. I just couldn't fucking believe that he had it and I didn't.
Right.
Like this doesn't make any sense, but
it bounces around.
It does. But I noticed your finger.
Yeah.
What happened there?
An unfortunate gardening accident.
Yeah.
No, I was coming off my back deck and it's like 3 little steps and then there's a sprinkler head and my foot. I mean, I'm always like in a hurry, walk. I have a back house studio.
Yeah.
I'm always going back and forth and I was just going and my foot got caught between the bottom stair and the sprinkler head. And I had such momentum that it was just like pitched me and I landed on my pinky and fractured this bone.
That bone? Oh my God.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah. There? The second?
Yeah, the mid phalanx.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, so it's a whole thing. Hopefully there won't be long lasting damage. This might be the last guitar podcast I ever do because
I don't think so. You were playing last night.
It was tough.
I use my pinky a lot. I couldn't fucking imagine.
Yeah. Like I was doing a lot of tapping just because.
Yeah. It's like those false harmonics I saw.
Yeah. It was just like, I mean, I got to do something, but I had to you have to really adapt, it's tough. It's scary. It's really scary.
I'm sorry. I hope everything's okay with that.
Everybody send me some good
vibes,
recovery vibes, because I'd like to continue to play guitar.
Yeah. I would like you to continue to play guitar.
I mean, I've been doing it for 39 years now. So.
Yeah. When we were on tour in May, it was the day after the first show, and the keyboard player, she's helping fold up one of the beds in the RV, smashes to the point where they weren't sure her nail would stay. And so she just had to do the rest of the tour with a broken finger. Yeah. And I remember we finally stopped, and I think it was Ketchum at an urgent care because we had a day off. And their x-ray machine's just not working. And we're sitting there for hours. And finally, I'm like, what's the worst case scenario? Well, that she broke her finger. I'm like, okay, so what do we do if she breaks her finger? Well, you just
splint
it, buddy. Yeah. And so we're like, okay.
Buddy straps.
Yeah, should we just do that? And they're like, yeah, you can just do that. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't stick around in an urgent care and have her pay a couple $100 extra for an x-ray. That's not going to make a difference. But man, she was scared. She was more than anything, frankly, she was scared that her nail wasn't going to grow back.
The shame of being nailless.
She likes her nails.
Sure. I like my nails. They're very hard.
Every once in a while during the show, because she had the little thing on, you just hear clunk.
Yeah.
Bass notes, clunk.
Yeah.
Just look over her and smile.
It's you have to learn to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a bummer because, it's a bummer for a lot of reasons, but I've also been on this, I don't know what, maybe the algorithm decided it was time for me. I've been in a big police wormhole, and there's a lot of Pinky going on in Andy Summer stuff, you know. Driven to Tears is like my favorite police song, and I was like putting all the flangers and chorus pedals together. And
you got a couple flangers on that board right now.
Just the one.
Just the one?
Yeah.
What's the other purple pedal you have then?
Because
I saw you had the Strymon flanger.
I just have this. I've got the Strymon Lex.
The Lex. Oh, that's not a flanger.
No, it's a rotary. Leslie.
You know, I heard that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was a flanger.
Well, in slow mode, it's in the ballpark. But no, man, I'm like, when it comes to like flanger and compressors, I've tried a bunch of different things, man. But I love my Boss CE3.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy about it, but it does. Like there's a lot of cool things out there, but I always go back to the Blue Boss compressor. Yeah. Same thing with the I try to find made in Japan Boss flangers.
Yeah, I just got the stereo Boss flanger. I haven't plugged it in yet.
Yeah.
I'm real excited about it.
I mean, I'm a little, tweaker about it. Just that, I want it to be from the 80s. I want the black knobs, I mean, look, I grew up with Purple Rain. Yeah. That's when I started playing guitar. So
everyone's like, chorus is the sound of the 80s.
It's part of it, but not, yeah. But yeah.
Sometimes when you think, like, I saw I think it was like Reddit guitar pedals, like, I want to get like a super chorus, 80s chorus, just drenched in chorus. What do I need? Like, you need an
Electric Mistress. Yeah. Because that's what that's probably what somebody uses. Yeah. Like, it's funny actually, when I was in the 8th grade for Christmas, I asked for a flanger pedal. Yeah. And I still have it. I got, it was a, not Arian, Rock Tech.
Oh God.
Rock Tech flanger.
When did they stop making those?
Probably in like 1989.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think I've seen those in like pawn shops.
Yeah, but the reason I got it was because I was obsessed with the first Dag Nasty record, Can I Say? And Brian Baker's rig, it was like a JCM 800 Les Paul, and it was a chorus pedal, but I thought it was a flanger pedal, so I got a flanger. But yeah, God, one day I'll meet Brian Baker. I got close.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was Bash and Pop played maybe it was LA, and like I saw him when I was walking up to the club, but I was too afraid to say anything to him.
Oh man. Well, maybe he'll see this. Probably not.
I don't know. I could. Well,
weirder things have happened, man.
Without the Pinky, maybe not, but I can play. I know I can. If I had to right now, I can play the first Dag Nasty record in its entirety.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
Love it.
So great.
Yeah. So how'd you feel about the show last night?
It's fun.
Yeah.
I like the room.
Yeah, 500.
Yeah.
It's like a good size.
I like all the wood in the room.
It's a former Masonic temple. They've been playing at the Lodge Room.
Yeah.
In Highland Park. And I just remember looking up and seeing that weird star in the ceiling. Like,
I looked at that all night.
Yeah. Like, oh, God.
Is that a portal? Or
yeah, I think so. I think they have this huge sacrifice.
Some weird shit. Yeah, exactly.
Right
no, it was a good start to the show. I mean, obviously I was trying to be present and, but I had to be careful as well with my finger. But I
saw your note on the set list. Be careful not to slide up. Was that?
Yeah. So in Stevie Nicks, like coming out of that bridge breakdown, the coming that walk up from the E flat. I do it like, index finger, pinky, octave, but I did it octave otherwise. And like just the slide, like kind of jarred something at sound check. I was just like, so I just one fingered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in doubt.
Yeah. I did a lot of single note stuff last night.
Sounded great though.
But, and two, like, I found that once I kind of got into the show and started like, accepted that this is where I'm at, like I started doing different things. Mm-hmm. And a couple of times I was like, all right, I might put that in my pocket.
Yeah.
For like, cause it forced me to do different things. Cause we played these songs a lot over the years. So it's like you get into patterns, of like stuff that's maybe not even on the record or whatever else. And like you play and it's like, okay, here's a part where I do this. Yeah. It's like, so if I couldn't do that, I had to do something different. And like, well, maybe that's cool,
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's what breeds innovation is having those restrictions.
Yeah, absolutely. I would rather not have this restriction, but
you got it. You got it for now.
Yeah,
hopefully not for long.
Yeah, but no, absolutely. I mean, like I think limitations always breed creativity. Yeah. I feel like
for sure.
Which is why I don't have any pedals with scrolling menus.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I haven't made a board in a long time that had a scrolling menu.
I've never had one. I mean, it's no shade against them, but it's just nothing that, you know.
I feel like once you go that way, you really need a MIDI controller, and that requires more pre-planning than I would like to put into something. Like, I just want to be able to tweak something on the fly, not
absolutely.
Be like, okay, now I got to go through these songs. Like, I've played a few gigs with like an HX Stomp or like a Podgo because I was demoing those products. I think they're really cool. I prefer to use them in practice still.
Yeah.
The Podgo wireless was pretty cool. I got to get up on a table and it was fun stuff.
I mean, you know, at some point, like, I found myself sitting next to Bob Bradshaw, and when I woke up, I had a pedal board. You know, but so like for a while, I had the Bradshaw brain. You know, like I was like, oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna program like all this stuff for like, you know, songs and combination. I never did it. No. I just use it as a big ass pedal board.
Yeah.
And so like, and when the whole city took a break, like, you know, it just wound up like it's like in pieces now, like, you know, in a storage locker. And I'm just way more comfortable with just like the Gator pedal board and just rip shit out and change things
for sure.
You know, I mean, everybody has their own way. I recently, my church gig, I walked in one day and they just handed me some IEMs. And there was no monitor. I was like, oh, so
universal fits, I guess.
Yeah, just like out the box, like literally in the box. I had to like take it, you know. I was like, okay, so
you like them?
Not really.
No.
You know, but like I would have liked a little bit of a heads up that it was happening, but
they think you're getting used to.
Yeah. So it's been a journey. Because like I think I'm pretty much I have to accept our front of house guys EQ.
Yeah.
Because it's post fader. But so I quickly realized that like, well, I'm not hearing my amp. Like, cause you know, one thing I really loved about that gig was like I had my Vox Cambridge, like a tube Vox Cambridge, which I just realized I had a dream last night that I bought a second one. Like that's crazy. And like it, you know, because some of those, like especially some of the CCM stuff is like a lot of just long wide open chords.
Yeah,
you know?
that ambiance.
Yeah, and like you can really like feel your guitar breathing. I enjoyed that. Yeah. And that was kind of gone. But so anyway.
But then I'm assuming they want to get the stage volume down.
Yeah.
Are they doing live streams and stuff too?
Yeah. Because we did live streams starting with the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, and we just kept at it. But so
I just read a bunch of articles about that.
Oh, nice.
about churches and IEMs and getting a good silent stage and stuff.
So I was like, all right, well, if I can't hear my amp, let me lean into convenience. Yeah. So just be able to show up with something. So I bought like a Boss, like whatever their multi-effect.
No, it wasn't. Not, God, what are those called?
I can't remember what they're called, but it's like, you know, it's like.
People are going to fucking shame me.
You can either, again, you can program it, which I didn't do. And you have like, you know, multi-effects and then the Cosm technology amp at the end of it. Yeah. And I thought, well, I'll just do this, you know. Mm-hmm. I lasted like exactly 2 gigs with it and was just like, I can't do it. And mostly because I'm really ticky about how I order my effects. And also I'm really ticky about, again, like the compressor just did not do. And I thought, well, it's Boss. It'll be fine. But it wasn't like my CE3. What I found out, so I was like, you know, I was kind of penny wise, pound foolish. I was, you know, because I bought one used off Reverb because I was like, man, what I should do is just buy an Iridium. Yeah,
that's what you should do.
That's what I did. Good. So I lasted 2, and it's just because it's got the cabs.
Yeah,
and the room
and the stereo cabs too, which is kind of nice.
So
you do stereo in with the Y.
Yeah, and so I've done exactly 1 gig with the Iridium, and it was so much better.
Probably 300 of my demos with an Iridium.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody tells.
The ears were still, you know, an adjustment, but like I found myself playing to. But because it was my pedal board and the Iridium. So eventually what I'll do is I'll build another pedal board for that and just leave it because we're in the same spot. So really I'm just lazy and want to show up as little as possible. No,
I mean, why not? If you're not going to have the amp, why bring it?
Yeah, kind of exactly. If I can't hear it. Yeah.
And like, I know like the HX Stomp, like it has, you could do everything there, but you'd have to program everything.
Exactly.
And the Iridium to me, it just takes drive and stuff better than the other ones out there.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, because I know Walrus has one. And like the cool thing about the Walrus ones, you can have like true stereo, so you can have like a Fender style and a Marshall style on one side. But I didn't like it.
I don't need to do all that for that gig. You know, I need something that takes drive pedals well and that cleans up.
Yeah.
You know, and like it was just, you know, the people at Strymon are so nice. But you know, and for the longest time I was just like, well, I don't know what I need that for. And then it was nice to be like, I've got a guy. You know, like I can. It was really sweet to be able to apply some technology like there. It was like, okay, I'm in the game now. This works. And I'm looking forward to kind of dialing that in more. You know, I've been going back between.
You can download your own cabs if you really want to.
Yeah.
But I like the ones that came with it.
One of the biggest things for me was that they had the 210 cabinet because
I like them.
I know everybody loves them.
Yeah.
I've never since I was in my 20s, I've tried my entire life to get with a deluxe reverb.
Yeah.
And I understand people like them. They just don't work for me.
Yeah.
I do not like them. That there's something in here, like the 112. It just like, I'm like, for years I played through like a super reverb.
Oh yeah, I have the Tone Master Super Reverb.
Yeah.
I fucking love that thing.
I mean, like
they're so punchy.
10s, the tight bottom end, like
them.
That farting out of the deluxe reverb, I just can't deal with it. I need when I'm playing clean, I want that tightness. You know,
for sure.
So the fact that I can do whatever the round, which is a black panel, Fender style thing, that I can do that with the 210 cab is like, that makes a huge difference. So I've been kind of, again, I'm new to it. So like I've been I've got it to where my main thing is the round sort of black panel thing, and then my favorites is a like the Punch or whatever.
Yeah, that's like the Marshall one. Yeah.
But
the Chime, I'm just not a huge Vox person. But I played the Ruby by UA Universal Audio.
Yeah,
that's
their pedal.
Yeah, it sounded really good, but it was you almost have to read the manual to understand how to make it sound good. Because if you're just like dicking around with that out of the box, it's not going to sound great.
It took me years to get my head around the Vox topology.
Yeah.
I mean, it's backwards.
It is exactly. Exactly. So if you're like expecting the tone knob to work one way, oh nope, that ain't it.
I remember being a teenager when Gilby Clarke joined Guns N' Roses, and like he had like a wall of AC30s, and I was like, I was like, what? Well, this is a rock band though. Like what, I didn't understand that an AC30 can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I just never bonded with them.
Yeah.
I don't have time, I guess. I like a Fender.
I see a Vox style amp as like some oregano, or like it's a good color. It's a good spice.
You have both on stage.
Yes. Yeah. What I found is the AC15 is like one of the perfect blending amps.
Yeah.
It complements almost anything.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, once a year we get to use our own gear, and that's at Brooklyn Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
So everything's backline? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've got it like one of those two-tone AC15s, kind of retro looking. Yeah. And then I've got the Marshall Studio Studio Vintage. They're the little tiny plexi.
Yeah.
And those two together are great. And then like finally we Tad and I both landed on the Blues Junior. Like they're actually pretty rad little amps.
Yeah, I mean they're super popular.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that they come in like some fun colors.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm all about different colors.
They have like the pink and like teal. I think.
Oh yeah, that's a good combo.
My friend Mike has one of those. I think.
So those two together, pretty well get it done. The biggest struggle I've had, like, because we've moved to smaller amps, because like, I mean. In 2010, I was, and like really all through and up until 2014, like I was rolling with a 50 watt plexi half stack and an AC30.
Were they not miking you on stage?
They were throwing things at me on stage, dude. I mean, like the amount of like, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
And it's they lied to me, man. Like when I was a kid, it was just like if you get in a big band, you can use the big amps. Nope. Not that we're a big band, but like
they're all cardboard cutouts. We didn't know.
Yeah, right.
Except for AC/DC.
Yeah. I mean, God, I used to tour with a 1971 high watt DR103. But I just use it for a clean sound,
Yeah. I mean, that's. Yeah.
It was good. but that was in the 90s. And I was also playing a Strat with pretty low output pickups. But
oh yeah,
that was the big ass truck rig. Still have the high watt though.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my corner of obsolescence, and it's like the high watt half stack. I've got a white JCM 800, like a 81 vertical input, signed by Jakey Lee. Which is half the reason I don't get rid of it. And then the 50 watt plexi on top of that, it just sits in the corner.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's still there though. If you ever change your mind.
Yeah. I mean, I did recently on a whim. There's a Martin Music is like right down the street from my house, local music store, mom and pop. And I guess I was watching Get Back, the Beatles thing.
Right. Yeah.
And Paul had that brand new drip edge bassman. I was like, man, I would really love to play bass through an amp like that. And that kind of got me thinking about the bassman. Then I dream about the bassman. I dream about amps.
Yeah.
And then the next day after the dream, I went into Martin Music and there was a 66 black panel bassman on consignment for like $14.95. And I was like, I just was like,
a no-brainer.
On the way out, it's just like, we asked the guy if we'll take 12.
Yeah.
And then 45 minutes later, he's like, absolutely. And so I bought it. I never even played through it. Because I don't like playing guitar in music stores. Like I hate it. I hate it. Oh. So I took it home and fired it up, and it's magic. It's like it's one of the best amps I've ever played through. And like I know I'm late to the game on the black panel bassman kind of thing, but like, oh my god, like apart from one really small venue in Memphis, like I've been taking it to gigs, and like it's just. Everything sounds so amazing through it, like nice. Either with pedals or with just on its own. Mm-hmm. But it's also, it's the piggyback cab as well. I think it's very much the two of them together.
Yeah,
this is the sound. I've got these tellies that I built, and so like those guitars through that amp is particularly fun.
Yeah, you build anything lately? Or just the two? You had Red and
Sonic Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished not too long ago my third build I've been doing these wide range Stratocasters. Mm-hmm. So it's like MJT body, Musicraft neck, and then Lawler Regals.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So neck and bridge, and then in the middle is where kind of like anything goes. Mm-hmm. So it started years ago when Big Ass Truck did like one of their first reunions. I played just a Strat in Big Ass Truck. It's a Fullerton reissue that I bought at a Texas Guitar Show for like $400 before people, knew. Thing about those guitars is the necks are tiny on those.
Really?
Yeah.
Like nutwidth or
both.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like 80s shredder neck, like really skinny. Like that was their concession to the modern thing. But anyway, then when Big Ass Truck stopped touring, the buddy that I used to work for at a guitar store, Rod Norwood, was like, I've got a Telly Deluxe. I think I probably told this story on the last podcast, but he's like, you need it. And I was like, we used to make fun of Telly Deluxes. Like,
why? They're awesome.
Because we had our head up our asses in terms of what's vintage and what's right. It's like, that's not a Telecaster. It's got a Strat headstock. It's got a contoured body. It's got a Les Paul wire. It's got humbuckers.
I love my Deluxe.
Of course you do. So, I bought this 73. It's called Walnut, but we all call it Mocha. And that was like 2000. It was 2000. No, it's 2001. Yeah. And that's when I discovered the wide range humbucker, And so my rig was like whatever pedal board I had at the time, different gain, dirt modulation, time-based stuff, and the super reverb and those wide ranges. And it was like, oh my God. Like, I mean, this is before they blew up too.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought like, gosh, if like I should have like just played the wide ranges back in the day. But I like the Strat body and the whammy because I was into all this Eddie Hazel stuff. So I was like, well, what if you put the guts of a Telly Deluxe into a Strat? And so it just kind of evolved from there. So anyway, years ago, I built like it eventually evolved into a black Strat body with a maple cap neck. I was just like all Van.
I remember that guitar.
Yeah. And so anyway, I've just finished one that was like, it's like a candy apple red body and with a rosewood fingerboard.
Awesome.
So the two Lawlers, but the black one has a Burns Trisonic in the middle.
Okay.
And so this one I did a Novak gold foil.
I like Novak.
Yeah, because I've recently I I did a gig with my buddy Luther Dickinson, and he had a Harmony Bobcat, and I was like, I need one of those. And like literally, I just like I somehow made it happen in a week. I found a body on Reverb and then a wiring harness.
Wow.
Pick guard. And I got both of those for relatively cheap. And then I just, literally everything else came out of a box in my studio. I was like, I know I've got parts for this somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it together. And I was like, oh, I'll fix it later. And I was like, you know what?
Maybe not.
It's fine.
Maybe it doesn't need it.
I put some showers on it though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I got mini showers, which I think helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the mass, I don't like them for most guitars, but like on certain things, the mass on the headstock, I feel like kind of, because they're, heavier, I feel like it kind of gives it a little bit more sustain. And I've done the same thing with my Squier Mascus Jazz Masters.
Oh yeah. Those are great mods.
The nerdy thing about it is those, like what I try and collect, all the showers that I get that say made in West Germany.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like,
that's pretty cool.
Pre glass nose, pre Iron Curtain. Two reasons. One, because like that's just cool, like nerdy train spotter shit. That's what I'm into. But also because like it's some Van Halen shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, that guitar is still kind of a work in progress. It's parts casters are weird, man. Like they either come together amazingly,
great, or you're just like,
you're just fucking with them for the rest of your life. Yeah. I built another Strat before the Candy Apple Red, which is like an ash body, which I found out that I don't like ash for Strats. I like ash for Tellys, alder for Strats. But like, I just couldn't get it to work. And I literally just gave it to my buddy Luther. I was like, just take it. Like, and he loves it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
and he's been gigging with it. This is Luther from the North Mississippi All-Stars. And so it's great to see it out there, like, good
use.
Yeah. Earning its keep. And he loves it. It made him very happy. So
good.
And it also kind of, that's what got him into the wide range game as well. So
nice.
But yeah, Lawler and Novak both are just great stuff.
Yeah. I have a couple projects, but I don't think they're going to be moving anytime soon.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I stained I got an RD body that's like routed for 2 humbuckers, and I stained it red.
Like a Gibson RD?
Yeah. And I kept looking, I'm like, I just don't like the shape of it.
Yeah. It's that weird sort of semi-explorer kind of thing.
Yeah, just like, it looks like kind of Gumby-ish to me.
I never liked him. I mean, like, again, I come from a generation where we were like, yeah, this is Gibson's folly. Like, there's nothing cool about it. There was nothing retro. There was nothing. It was just like, this is the Plymouth K car of the Gibson era. I mean, it's everything that was wrong with American manufacturing.
As I was given a choice between a couple bodies, and obviously the podcast is Get Offset, so I think that was the only offset shape.
Right.
And more like, I'm like, I don't know.
Is it a set neck or is it bolt on?
No, it'll be bolt on. It's just like I could put a Strat neck on it. Yeah. So like I just have to like wire it up, and I have everything I need for it. I just haven't made the time. There are other things I want to do. I bought this DIY synth kit from Dreadbox Electronics. They got some cool pedals. So like, I think that's the next thing I'm going to do. And I just don't know when I'm going to get to finishing your guitar.
It's a wormhole. Yeah. I mean, we all have projects that just sort of lay fallow.
They pile up.
I mean, like
adding to it.
When I finished with the help of my friend Bob Scobie over at Martin Music, like when I finished the Strat, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done doing builds. But then I was like, the whole thing was like these Strats started as from I still have my original 73 Tele Deluxe, right?
Yeah.
But like, the nut width's a little narrow so like when I've done these Musicraft necks, I do 1 11/16 nut width. It's basically a 335 neck.
Yeah.
It's like 10-inch radius, 1 11/16 nut width, and with a fat profile. I'm like, oh God, like I want to go back to my Tele Deluxe, but
but you like that neck.
I was like, well, maybe I could just build another guitar.
Maybe. It's funny. Guitars are like that.
Yeah.
That's the point of a parts caster.
Right. Well, because the thing too, because like you have the wide ranges, but like if you put it on a Strat, I mean, there's a huge difference between a vibrato bridge with springs and just a Tele, or whatever, the 6 saddle fixed thing in the Tele Deluxe's case. But so I don't know. And then I really want to build a custom telly, not telly custom, but like the Doug Somm, like double bound,
Oh yeah. Okay.
It never stops.
Never does. They just start laying around the house like cats.
Yeah. That's so I've just shifted all my money into buying cameras and paying for film and processing.
Yeah. One hobby to the next, you got to have something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've done anything else lately. I'm afraid to get into modular synths. And that's, I think, where I'm kind of getting pushed.
That's a whole thing.
I
haven't. Yeah. There's a lot of gadgetry that you can.
Yeah. My buddy Tim.
Small little cute things that just with like colors and lights and
bleeps and bloops.
Bleeps, yeah.
No, I have a couple of things. Perfect Circuit, they're just up in Burbank. They sent me the JX08 synth, the Roland. It's like their boutique thing.
Okay.
And it was actually pretty. I think it's a good first synth, but I'm like, man, this is, and that's not even getting into modular, and it's so much. Like, I did not know what it meant to program a synthesizer for a very long time. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And now I get it. I'm like, this is hard. Like,
I mean, literally, my mother-in-law went to school. She studied electronic music at Peabody in Nashville.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that was a thing.
In like the late 60s. And she learned how to like cut tape and splice, but also it's just like patching and
patching. That's why I didn't go into studio production at Belmont. It was like, okay, so you can either do the business side or you can do the studio side, and we had to take a bunch of classes in both at the beginning. I saw Patch Bay and I'm like, nope, not doing this.
You know what? I still don't understand a patch bay. Like I thought for my studio, I was like, I should get a patch bay. I was like, I don't know what I'm just going to use plugins.
I just remember like being in a class at RCAB and the patch bay was there and people were just like, my boyfriend in college was just like, I'd go and like hang out with him while he worked and just like patching things there. I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
It just starts to swim in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you get the different colors and this goes to this. I'm like,
they got that weird, like, I've never seen another plug like that. That's like it's its own proprietary shape. And
Oh, it's weird, man. But my buddy Tim, he has a podcast called the Podular Modcast. And we're going to do a joint episode, I think. And I really want him to like walk me through how to do
that.
Yeah. He's just down in Tacoma. So I kind of want to go and just be like, okay, just show me. We'll do a podcast version of it. We'll figure it out.
Like EH has been doing so much at at a great price point and good size. Like I feel like it's a good time for them to come out. They had that really cheap synth that Eddie Van Halen used on Sunday afternoon in the park on Fair Warning. And it's killer sounding. Mm-hmm. It's like they need to bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time because I feel like guitarists I feel like most guitarists I know are like, then they get into synths and then they get back into pedals. And then also the other thing the guitarists I know do, they're like, I'm going to get rid of all my pedals and get a Helix.
Yeah.
I'm going to get more pedals again. I'm going to get rid of all my pedals and get an HX Stomp XL. Nope, more pedals. It just is a cycle. Going through things.
I'm trying to, I've been basically doing the same thing since the 90s for the most part, it's like I got my first volume pedal in like the late 90s after I discovered Nels Cline.
Oh God. Yeah.
I'm really terrible about Nels Cline because like I was on tour with Big Ass Truck and one of the guys in the band was driving and he was playing Contemplating the Engine Room, Mike Watt. It's the first time I heard Nels Cline. And literally I was asleep on the front bench. And this one song came on and like it woke me up. And I'm not joking. I fell off the bench onto the floor of the van. I was like, what the fuck is that? It was Boiler Man was the song. Yeah. Check it out. Boiler Man on Contemplating the Engine Room by Mike Watt. And I just, I used that little baby internet as much as I could in 1998 or 99.
That was a tough time for the internet. Oh. I had the internet because my mom worked in computers.
Right.
Like, it was weird. And Google, like there was no Google.
No.
There was just like weird, shitty search engines that probably stole all your data and credit cards.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, they're like Gopher, Ask Jeeves, like fucking
Ask Jeeves. Yeah. I like to ask
Netscape.
Jeeves. I like Ask Jeeves because you could specify if you want to search for MP3s.
Right.
So it made it easy to download music.
Of course.
Like one song, 1 hour.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
But so like I just, I followed him and then Watt came through Memphis and played and Nels Cline was with him. And like, so anyway, he was doing all that. I kind of really like the vibrato pedal and volume pedal, really kind of changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
And, but I'm so terrible, but because like when he like rose to notoriety with Wilco, I was just like,
damn it.
I was just like, I knew him before you. Like, it's just like I'm not going to listen to Nels Cline anymore because like I knew him before you did. You know.
Oh, I mean, Wilco was my first introduction to him. Yeah. So you definitely did.
Yeah.
Sky Blue Sky just kind of changed my world.
Well, it's funny too because like we were just my wife and I were listening to A Ghost Is Born.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like Jeff Tweedy just playing like Nels Cline to the best of his ability. It's just like fuck it, just get him in the band.
Yeah. The Ghost Is Born wasn't my favorite.
It's a controversial album, right?
Yeah.
I love that record. It's a weird
in-between record.
I love that record.
It's not like the one I put on.
Hummingbird is such a great song.
Hummingbird is a great song.
It's a great song.
Yeah, there's great songs on it.
She's a Jar.
Oh, fuck, you're right. God damn it.
Come on.
You're right. I'm sorry. When you're right, you're right. It's a great record.
Justice for A Ghost Is Born.
I put on Summer Teeth more than anything.
Well, yeah, of course. A lot of people do. Yeah.
No, I'm basic.
Yeah.
Basic Summer Teeth bitch. I just love that title.
Well, what's good is good, you know?
Yeah. I love the joke, though. Summer Teeth, Summer.
But anyway, all that to say, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm glad that I took a flyer on that Boss multi-effects thing because it was a cheap way to realize that that's not my jam, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just, you know, it's no big deal just to have even a piece of plywood with some dual lock on it. Like, I just rather have an array of pedals to mess with. It's not that none of that stuff's going to make my life better or easier. No. You know, I'm not going to enjoy playing music, you know.
You know what I did like was Line 6 of the Catalyst series, and they're not amps with a bunch of effects in them. They do have a few effects. But they have this boutique setting. It's mostly different amp types, like Line 6 is known for.
Sure.
But it also has a pretty nice reverb, spring reverb, and like a slapback delay. I love that sound.
Yeah.
I've toured. I mean, I've gigged with it, and then my guitarist and singer and one of the band I play bass in, he wanted to use it as his amp on tour, and he said the whole tour is fucking great. But
you know,
you can still use a pedal. I still use a pedal board with it.
Yeah. I mean, you make do with what you got. You know, I mean, like I was on a gig recently over at Stax in Memphis, and like, you know, the Hot Rod DeVille went down in the back line, and they're like, "Sorry, all we have is this Line 6 Spider." And everybody made fun of me, and so like the bass player was like filming it like with his iPhone, like this is gonna be so shitty. And then like I just put it on like what I thought like whatever like Crunch or I don't know what it was, but you know, I just kind of blindly was like, okay, this is probably gonna be all right. And he's like, watch this. And I put my volume pedal down. I was like, yeah, this works. Sounds good. You know, they're
not bad amps.
Yeah,
the technology is better now.
Yeah.
But
you know,
like they were never bad amps.
Well, and you know, look, you should endeavor to be the kind of player that you can make anything work. You know, it's like because it's all in these fucked up, battered hands. You know,
that's the thing, and that's another thing with like demos. People like go really hard on gear, and then you get people like RJ or Ryan from Demos in the Dark, and people just like they could make anything sound good. I'm like, yeah, they can, but also I don't think a lot of people put out shitty gear right now. But you should be able to acclimate to the gear that you
There's
have.
a sound in there somewhere, you know, that's usable. I mean, like
otherwise they wouldn't have made the pedal.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, Josh Scott has just been doing those Monday talks, and like it was like talking about, you know, demos being dishonest or whatever, you know. But like it's a fair point that like, you know, you're going through software. You know, it's the same old thing of like, you know, when people are like, I want to sound like the Beano record. I was like, well, then get the console that it was recorded on, use that kind of tape.
Yeah.
Get whatever compressor limiter that they were using, you know. For me, like with demos, where I think they're important and what I use them for is more of like seeing the functionality of a piece of gear put to use. So it was like I don't like from what I've read, I don't really understand. Like, I need this to do X, Y, Z, and I'm not sure if it can do that. Like, I don't care about how it's. I'm not going to look through the demo and be like, oh, that tone is so great. Like, you know.
Oh, that tone through that Benson Chimera.
Yeah, through this speaker. You know? Like, I am, you know, I want to see like, oh, so that's, you run out that way. Okay, yeah, I can make that. I need that.
Yeah.
You know, like I was looking at Iridium demos just to get a better understanding of the functionality of it, you know. Yeah,
that was not my best demo for the record. That was one of my first demos.
That was a long time ago.
So 2019,
yeah. That was just sort of like, you was just kind of, you know, shedding off the you're molting. I don't know.
I was like,
I'm trying to make an analogy.
I had to learn how to, work a camera, do lighting, record like things to sound good into a computer. Like I was just like, I was learning. And that's another thing that for the demos, but
and then that speaks to the whole or this. It's been fascinating to watch this age of content creation evolve. I mean, it's because one day I was just watching YouTube because I was bored, and then all of a sudden and it was just like whatever it was, and then it was I just watched it evolve in real time, and I was like, okay, then there's this person and this and what whoa, because and my hat's off to you because I would love to run my mouth. I have a lot of things to say, but I just don't know what the platform would be. But and I don't have the time to put it.
Yeah, it's the time. It's like you gotta set aside the time to actually do it.
Yeah,
because I think that's a lot of the negative comments I get. I am 100% sure it's people who want to do what I'm doing and just don't, and then they are like, I'm a better guitarist than her. I'm like, yeah, you might be, but I'm actually fucking doing it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's to me, it seems like, it's like you're making yourself vulnerable by putting your songs out there, right? Yeah. Well, you're making yourself vulnerable by, putting your face and opening up your mouth in front of a camera, man. And I got mad respect for, I mean, there's a lot of talk about content creators and they get a lot of shade. Maybe some of them rightfully so. I don't know. But I mean, it's,
someone's forcing you to watch this shit.
Yeah. And they're not just being, they're working, even if it's bad. They're spending a considerable amount of time to do it,
As long as they're not hurting anybody while they do it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't want people to lie in some of these demos. The one thing that Josh said, he's like, demos do a lot of post-production. I'm like, none of the demo artists I know do much. Right. They just do kind of minimal stuff. I maybe will I'll put a limiter on my voice. Sure. Because I'm bad staying on mic. Right. Or I'll even out the volume levels if I fucked up and didn't adjust the volume accordingly. I mean, it's human nature just to want to be like you said, to make it sound as good as possible. Some people may go to extremes, but Truth is, I want to get them done as quickly as possible. Right. I don't have a ton of time. I have a full-time job and it's not making demos and it's not playing music. I do all that stuff after my day job. Wow. Or in the middle I have 2 hours in the middle of the day. Sure. I do a lot of stuff. But I think a lot of people think that you make a living doing that. I'm like, no, I really don't. Yeah. I would love to. I would love to be like Ryan Burke or Ryan from Demos in the Dark or some of these other select content creators who that's all they do, because then I'd be able to do more and think about it a little bit more. But it's so funny because the culture is it's such, in some ways it's such a monoculture, because I got super into film photography, or back into it because because I'm old, and that back in my day film photography was just called photography. But it's the same conversation in a different medium, and it's the same. It's well, this person and that person, and it's well, who's and who gets this for free, or he's paid to say that, and and even film versus digital. It's oh, I know this conversation, Yeah. It's the conversation. The thing is, film is awesome, but there's a reason everyone's transitioned to digital for the most part, and I don't know if you can say the same about gear necessarily, but I have that Benson Mixwave Chimera app, plugin. It's $180. It sounds so fucking good. I released a demo this past week, the Soft Focus by Cattle and Bread. Someone posted a message what other effects are you using this? I'm like, it's literally just the plugin. Right. I just put it right into my computer and open Studio One, drag my amp sim over, and it just sounds so good. Yeah, I mean, if you find something that's inspiring, no matter what it is, so I'm releasing a record. I'm starting up my dad's record label, Peabody Records. Yeah. And so in February we have an album coming out. It was me and Luther Dickinson and our friend Paul Taylor. That's gonna be great. We made a record. We made a record during the pandemic. Can you believe that? No. Yeah. Unheard of. I've got this unprecedented. Let me tell you the story. Yeah. So, but it's taken a minute to get it out, but I've released some vinyl and everything. Mm. But so when we, it was we were just Dropbox. One guy was in northern Wisconsin, one guy was in Nashville, one was in Memphis. Yeah. But anyway, I stumbled upon
like my pedal board, like wah and phaser and delay, but the UA Century channel strip.
Oh yeah,
their proprietary, channel strip.
Yeah.
This one guy, Paterno, not like I don't want to say Joe Paterno, but like
no, you don't.
No, you don't.
Sure don't.
I think it's John, but yeah, but
oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. But he had the setting like DI funk guitar.
Oh yeah.
So it's just kind of like a compressed kind
very
of
tight.
Yeah. But like that, because I'm super into like psychedelic funk kind of stuff, and like so, Crybaby, Boss PH1R, made in Japan, and this Strymon L Cap, like all that, and through that. Like, I mean, I was literally like, I think I've just found my like true sound. Like I so like literally I emotionally connected with it. And like whenever I would play it, like a telly through that. Yeah. And it's like, so the record is pretty much all that. Like,
that's awesome.
I never used an amp.
Wow.
At all. And
but you have so many of them.
I know. They all just take up so much space.
They do. So when's the album coming out?
Which album?
The one you're releasing with Luther?
Yeah, so it's called MEMMODS, MEM_MODS, late February.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
February 23rd. Don't hold me to that, but
ish.
Ish, yeah.
Yes. Is Memphis doing the?
Yeah, so Memphis Record Pressing pressed it up. We should be dropping the first single probably late October.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So that's coming up.
Yeah. We got a couple videos made. I'm working on the third. It's all instrumental.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's like this weird. There's it's funky / I don't know. It's a lot of things. We're really proud of it. We've lived in it for so long. I'll be very curious to see what people think about it. I mean, we all recorded it in our little home studios, and I mixed it in Pro Tools. Justin Perkins at Mystery Room Mastering mastered it. But I was like. Kind of mad imposter syndrome. It's just like, well, I guess I'm mixing the record, but I did,
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to get it out into the world. We're proud of it, but we'll see. I kind of like the perverse side of me is just like, I wanted to press up these 500 records with the hopes that 30 years from now, somebody finds one that has no idea what it is. And they pick up a tactile copy and like, the fuck is this, man? And put it on like, and then like they've got this story to tell that, like check this out, I want to give that to somebody. Cause that's a fiscally really responsible plan. It's just plan for obscurity. That's how I make my money.
That's how a lot of us make lots of money in music, everybody.
Yeah.
You want to be rich, start a music project.
And then Hold Steady's got a record coming out sometime next year.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah.
So
I like that song Sixers.
Yeah, that's first time we played it.
Yeah.
I made it all the way through.
You did.
Yeah.
Y'all did.
We all did. Together as a band.
Yes. Everyone remembers the first note and the last note, and everything in between just kind of goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah. No. So it was fun doing that, and we're gonna play some more stuff from the new record over the course of we've played some stuff. You've heard some songs. Over the last couple of run of shows.
No, I haven't seen y'all since Brooklyn Bowl.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll hear some new stuff.
Yeah.
We've been kind of peppering it in.
Cool.
Because a lot of times it's like I had to ask the engineer for stems because I was like I don't know what I played.
Yeah.
Because we moved really fast, with the way that our production kind of works and our producer, and it's like. I don't remember. Like, is that me?
Yeah.
Is that Tad? I don't. So
that kind of thing. I get that.
Yeah, and a lot of times I just kind of just land on something. Well, whatever, this works. It might not be what I played on the record, but it's what I'm playing now.
Sure. All right. Well, thanks so much for sitting down with me in your air conditioned room.
Yes.
And it's fucking hot. It's fucking hot.
I'm waiting for I think because I'm from Memphis. I'm like.
It was kind of humid yesterday.
Yeah,
but it's swampy.
It doesn't. I mean, it's hot.
It's not Midwest humid. It's not Southern humid.
Yeah, I mean, like I haven't there's times in Memphis where I walk out. It's like walking into a wall.
Yeah, the glass is just.
Yeah, Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, well, I can roll with this. It's fine.
Yeah. It's honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I think it was worse last week.
110. Yeah, that would do it. But 99 is about my upper limit. But I love Nashville for a reason. But anyway.
I love the heat.
That's what my singer from Texas says too. Check out the Hold Steady. Check out the album on Peabody Records. What's the name again? Memmods. You'll know more about it soon. Yeah. And everyone out there, thanks for watching / listening /
understanding.
Yes. My name is Emily.
I'm Steve.
Goodbye.